Hi guys. Hi. Good evening. It's four um it's 4 minutes after 5. So I forgot when I did that flyer I put 5 o'clock for Nigeria and I forgot that we are 1 hour ahead of Nigeria. So please pardon me. So in today's live session, I'll be going live today with Priscilla. Priscilla is already here, and we just want to be talking about Luxembourg, schooling in Luxembourg University or studying in Luxembourg University, basically. And I'll bring her up here. And in case if you're meeting me for the first time, hello, I am Modesta. I'm a Nigerian mommy vlogger. I live here in Luxembourg and I share content about family lifestyle as a black immigrant living in Luxembourg. I also share travel, whatever, or have you to Luxembourg, yeah, and the universities in Luxembourg. So in case if you're interested in such content, you can go follow me on YouTube at Sweet Moxie, and I'm also on Facebook at Sweet Moxie. But without wasting much of your time, I don't intend to be here for a very long time. I'll just bring up Priscilla. She will tell us who she is, where she's from, and her studies in Luxembourg so far. She's almost done. She's almost done in the university, but I hope this live session is really as interesting as I planned it will be. Okay, so let's bring Priscilla. It's okay. Why is it not?
Hi.
Okay, she
Hi,
has joined.
everyone. Hi, Moxie.
Hi,
I'm fine. Thanks
how are
for
you
having me
doing?
today.
I should be thanking you.
No, that's
Thanks for
good.
joining us. Yes. So, Priscilla, I know you're a Nigerian student in the university, and first of all, I want you to tell us your name. I want you to tell us where you're from, and then your journey to studying in the University of Luxembourg, how you got to hear about University of Luxembourg, the application process, how long it took you, the year you joined the university. Okay,
Thanks
so the
again,
floor is
Moxie.
yours.
Hi, everyone. Priscilla. My name is Priscilla Akinyemi. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Ekiti State, but I was brought up in Abuja. Um, I
Okay.
I was school hunting in 2020. Actually, starting from 2019. And I use this portal. I don't know. I think it's called the Masters portal, uh, where it's a super duper. Maybe after I finish talking, I'll go find the link and kind of paste it here. But they show you schools, universities, and you can filter with location, with tuition fees. It's amazing. So I was hoping to go to the US to study as at then, and just as a backup plan, I decided to check Europe. And then I did this filter, and then I saw that the tuition fee was 200 euro. I was like, no, this is a joke. I never heard of Luxembourg before. And when I saw it, I was like, I'm just going to apply for fun, right? Because I didn't even know what Luxembourg was. And then I applied close to the deadline. It was 2020. And like a few weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, I got a result that I've been admitted. That's when I actually Googled what Luxembourg was and, where it was located. And I found that it's a small country, it's a nice country, it's a rich country, yada, yada, yada. And because at that point, it was the heat of the pandemic. And I don't know if anyone of you has attempted coming to Luxembourg, but there is no due process laid out. You kind of have to just Google everything, ask a lot of questions. There are no agents. I was looking for agents to pay. There was nothing available. So I had to, try on my own. I had to. I understood I had to use the Belgium embassy, and they were not making it easy for me. They treated me like I was going to Belgium. They just made life a bit, difficult. But anyways, I got here September 2020, and I mean, when I got here, it's a whole different story. But basically, that's how I found Luxembourg, and I'm here today. So, oh yes, I am studying a master's in information and computer sciences, and I specialize in security.
Okay, Priscilla, thank you so much. I want to ask, when you applied to the university, then as at when you applied, application was free.
Yes.
Did you pay for
No,
application? You paid the 50
no.
euros.
When I came,
Um,
application was free.
Yeah, it was because now the people don't pay the 50 euros for application form, and I have got very many people ask me how they can make the payment since their Nigerian Mastercard is not working, and I always direct them to their bank to see if they can make directly from the bank. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I have another question. So when you got to Luxembourg, the how did you like you as the first time in Luxembourg, your first night in Luxembourg, did you pay for a hotel or how did you come? I understand that there is student accommodation, and I don't know where you stay. I don't know if you stay in Differdons or you stay in Belval or you stay in Limpertsburg. I know the university has three campuses, but I want to know how you juggled your first night. You've not been to Luxembourg before, like you said, and you came during the pandemic where everybody was like, please don't touch me, or I don't want to. So I want you to tell, like, for example, you sharing your story will also I have followers who just got admission
Awesome.
into the University of Luxembourg. If I if I can keep count, I think I should have like 5 to 6 persons who just got admission into the University of Luxembourg. And I know that if they are here live, they want to know how you juggled it as. Or did you rent Airbnb? Is that Airbnb, right? Or
Okay,
hotel? So how
thank
did you
you,
do that?
Moxie. First of all, let me just use the opportunity to answer some questions that I can see in the comments. First of
Okay.
all, you asked about payment. Um, Unfortunately, our banking system in Nigeria is wonderful. So I think the best thing to do would be to find someone who has a dollar account in Nigeria. Even if you had to change with Aboki, change some money and then use their card for payment. Alternatively, there are people here in Europe that need Naira. I know a bunch of people. So if you want to make payments like that, they'll be happy to pay in euro for you. Wow, yeah, but you probably have to know someone. But I'm happy to help. I think I have a cousin who always needs Naira. She has a family. Back home, so she always needs Naira to send to them. Secondly, somebody asked about traveling with your family. For masters here, you cannot bring your family, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but if you're coming for PhD, then yes, you can bring your family because it's an employment and you get paid, and your spouse can also find a job here. But for masters, you're considered a full-time student. You cannot engage anyone or in any other activity. For coming here, please, if I skip any question, I think Moxie can mention it later. Coming here, I did not have accommodations, accommodation arranged yet. Uh, to be fair, I cannot compare my time with what is happening now. It's very different. So first of all, I needed, because they send you this authorization to stay. They don't have a visa here per se, so they send you a letter, and then you go to receive a visa from Belgium, and then you come in, and they change your letter to a residence card. Yes.
A
So
resident
my
card.
letter was wasting a lot of time. So I
We lost. We can't hear you. Can you hear her? We can't.
I would just keep hanging up, I guess. So, so my dad called his friend who's a pastor, and he said he has a daughter here. So her name is Gloria.
Okay.
She's now I call her my sister, but she helped me to get the letter from here and sent it via DHL. So we became friends. So she came to pick me up at the airport, and she
At
registered me in
the
her
airport.
address at first. And then within that week, I got
Okay.
offered accommodation by the university, and I moved out of our house to the university. But that's not the way things are. Accommodation, I think the university lost about 4 buildings, so accommodation has been a problem. Entirely, Luxembourg has that problem, but the university now has that problem since they
Yeah.
lost. That would be like 100 or more than 100 units of rooms. So there is scarcity of accommodation. I don't know if it's better now, but at some point it was really, really bad. Yeah, it was horrible.
Really
So what I
good.
would
Yeah.
advise is that I can promise you that if you're coming here, there is a Nigerian community, and we are always down to help each other. It's not like I think they're trying to make it more formal in the university, like an association, but most times you can squat with someone in the meantime before you
Okay.
find a place. That's what we've been doing. We've been helping each other the whole time. Even I recently had accommodation issues. Don't ask me how. I had to squat. I had to squat with someone before I got my place. So if you come or if you're coming, just you have to learn to reach out to people. I think LinkedIn is a very nice place, very very good
Very
platform.
good platform. I always say if you want to go internationally, apart from the fact that you want to look for job, you as long as you want to study, you want to work, always create an account on LinkedIn. You want visa sponsorship jobs, I tell you, when you go on LinkedIn, it is very easy to see such jobs pop up on LinkedIn, and set that, see, you are actively searching for a job. And if you want to go to school, you can see people who graduated from different schools, tag them. You can just go to the school, check out their website, and see if it's what you desire, and all of that. LinkedIn is very, very good. And then on Facebook too, they
Groups.
have Nigerians in for groups like that, immigrants. Yes, you can go add them up on Facebook. If you follow my YouTube channel, I share all of these on my YouTube.
So
So yeah, Priscilla,
somebody's
right now.
asking if you can work here. Um, as a student, you have Ozzy, I think you're asking about admission. I'll come to that. But if you want to work here in Luxembourg as a student, you're only on your residence permit is written that you can work only 15 hours. You can work with the university. They have either the 40 hours a month or 60 hours a month. For 40 hours, you should earn around €700. That should cover your accommodation and feeding uh, in the meantime. Then if you get a 60-hour job a month, that should be about €1,000. It used to be 900, but they increased the price of everything, so they also increased salaries. That's fine. Another thing you can do is you can get internship. Internships can pay you ranging from 1,500 to 2,000 to 3,000, depends on who you're working with. But those are the only legal opportunities you have. You either work a 15-hour job, either with the university. Thankfully, you can work even outside the university, but it has to be 15 hours. Uh, or you can work an internship. But I would say leave that for later, because school here is not easy. So especially in the beginning, you need to really focus on your studies. It's not like other masters like in the UK or the US where you do like 3 courses. I started with 10 courses. I almost died. And they're not easy courses. They're really hard. So I would say look for you would find. And I came in the heat of pandemic, so I didn't have a lot of opportunities until I got like a research job with the school. But now even small companies around are willing to employ you for 15 hours or a week, which is in total 60 hours a month. Some people are okay with, or they can make it an internship and give you, like my friend, what they did for him, they said, since you cannot do 40 with us, we just give you 30. And he could manage that with school. So that's possible. I think for jobs, you have a lot of opportunities here to maintain yourself. I saw a really good question. Somebody's asking about the limited spaces. Okay, now, To be honest, if you get an admission into this university right now, I can't lie to you, you are really lucky. So what happened is that they only take limited students. So let's say for a class, they take like 30 something. I think accounting is the most because they need financial people here. So they take in many accountants and, you know, finance people. They take up to 70 something. But most classes like mine, you only have a 36, maybe 40 cap. And now they give like majority of those slots, let's say 70% of those slots to Europeans, to EU people, because I mean they have an agreement. They're one nation, they have to prioritize their people. So you get like 70% slot for European people. And then the remaining 30%, that would be like, let's say, I, I can't really crack my brain now, but about 10 slots, you're talking people from Iran, from India, from Nigeria, from all over the world. 300 people are fighting for 10 slots. So it's very hard to get admission in certain departments because some other departments, they don't even, their courses are not English. So the little ones that have English courses are very competitive. So that's why they put the 50K application fee to discourage people because they were getting too many applications. But that's not really stopping anyone. They're still getting applications. So most times they my professor told me that sometimes it's just a game of luck. So it's about your profile because they get so many good applications. When they take the EU students, what they'll just look at, okay, let's have a mix and match. Say one Nigerian, one Indian, one. So these days it's almost like a game of luck. It's really, really competitive. They just select the good ones and then they're looking like a bunch of good people and you're like, at some point, it's your racial profile that will help you. Yeah.
You know, I was in a meeting with a professor in
It's a
Lunex
private one.
University.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Lunex University. Yes, it's a private university. So, and he said it is a little bit competitive, and what makes it more interesting is if you have an interesting motivation. The admission in Luxembourg might be competitive, it might be difficult, but you also have to
Yeah.
push harder in your motivation. And Luxembourg University, they do this motivation cover letter and all of that. So you just have to push harder. If you're vying for a particular course or if you want to study a particular course, just make sure that your motivation should tally with the course ahead and what you
I'm
intend to learn from
Moxie, you're
from
right.
the
You're
course.
right.
And
Because this is
yeah,
a research
so you
university. I'm
just
sorry, Moxie. This is a research. I don't want to forget what I was saying. This is a research university. So they look for people with certain backgrounds. They highlight what's important to them. So you might be smart in your school, you might be the best, but if they tell you that we need someone who has done AI, who has done research, put it in your CV, so that put in your cover letter, so that the first thing they read about you is that you have what they want. That's what I did. So Moxie is right. Just highlight, look at what they're looking for and highlight it in your CV and in your motivational letter, like she said, so you can stand out. So it's easy for them to,
yeah.
select you. I think that's what happened in my case. I just looked at what they're looking at. I didn't even have time. I just put it on my CV and that worked for me. So it can work for you too.
And it's not like you did anything special. Like she doesn't even know anybody here. You heard her story, how she moved. She wanted to go to the US and she filtered on the site she was. She saw Luxembourg. And what attracted her the most was that you pay 200 euros, so for a semester. And okay, that was a good one. And then she applied to the University of Luxembourg. So, another thing I want to ask, the proof of fund. How did you handle the proof of funds? I understand that, okay, you're coming to Luxembourg, University of Luxembourg, and you know that proof of funds here is 6 months. It has to be 6 months in your account before you show. So, did you use your father's account or an uncle, or they paid into your account and you had to wait for 6 months? Because I also know that once the admission offer comes in,
Yeah.
you should start processing everything almost immediately. So
So,
how
like I
did
mentioned
you,
before, I
how
was
did you do
applying
it?
to the US, and so I was kind of prepared. I was prepared. So
So
I used
you
my
had,
mom's account
yeah,
and I just sent everything. It was such a hurry. But again, it was a very strange time, so they took it. But my friend sent his mom's account and they rejected his application because they don't know who the mom. You know, the more they get applications, the more they are strict. They don't know the relationship. So he had to send another application with his birth certificate saying that this is my mother. So you can use any, I think, use an account at least that has the same last name as you, with the same last name, and then explain your relationship. I was just super lucky or super blessed. I didn't do any of that. I just sent the account.
Your own was very. It's just your story somehow looks like the guy I interviewed from Lunex University. His own was so swift. He got his admission letter in less than 24 hours. Everything. Normally, you take interviews or exams at the university. All of that. He didn't even take any exam. He didn't take any interview. And like that, he came to Luxembourg. So yours is just like that kind of miraculous story. You really did not, you didn't stress yourself. Even the place you wanted to go to that would have caused you stress, just because of this tuition free, you applied to Luxembourg University and everything went so swiftly, without any stress. I want to ask, okay, you said, okay, you already answered this question. I wanted to ask, how did you process your temporary permits? You
Yes,
already
that one.
answered
I
it.
think for that one, if you get the admission, sorry, someone said CV. If CV was not part of your requirements, then they don't require CV. Someone also asked about English. An English waiver would suffice, but for my program, they needed an IELTS. But because I was planning to go somewhere else, I wrote the exam anyway, so I just sent that to them. For your question, Moxie, for the authorization to stay, I would advise that if you get the admission, when applying for the authorization to stay, use a proxy. You can use, like I said, reach out to LinkedIn. You can even ask Mosey. All they need to do is for her to send the letter to her house, and then she will DHL it to you. It's not a big deal. But if you send it through post office, because they use post office here, but our post office is not like their own. So mine, I got the one they sent the day I got my visa. Imagine how long it took. Like the first letter, I was there, I got my visa that I got it to. It was the one that I got through my proxy, Gloria, that got to me first. So if you're trying to apply for your authorization stay, send your documents through DHL to them. And when they want to send it back, you can even ask them to send through DHL. They will not agree because they just have a system of using the post office. So tell them to use a proxy for you. I'm up for that. I can help. And then Moxie's here. Reach out to people on LinkedIn. I think we should open a Facebook, a Nigerians in Luxembourg Facebook, so that and put it as an open group.
Yeah.
So that people who want to come can come in there and ask questions. We'll try to avoid scammers and
And all of that. Yeah, because I know the UK students, they have, so even on Twitter, they have accounts like that. Because I know that when my sister wanted to travel, she went to her school, Nigerian students in a party of that same school, and it's not like Luxembourg that has very small. Luxembourg is a small country, so the schools here, you can't say Nigerian students in Lunex or Nigeria. So I think it should just be, general, both Lunex University and it will really, really help Nigeria, because a lot of time people come to my DM to ask me group for Nigerian students. So if you create that kind of group, I'll be very happy. You tell me, I can, paste it on my Instagram, on my YouTube, or my Facebook, so that other Nigerian students who are interested in migrating to Luxembourg can, yeah, can I know about the application to the next? Okay, I do not respond to DMs. So on my Instagram page, I made I pinned a post that you can send me emails. I do not if you I understand that very many people followed me this past week. So if you're sending me DMs, sorry, I know they reply DMs. This combining live with content creation, mom, and all of that, it is really, really not easy. So I I just reply DMs. I reply emails, and that is only when I have time. That's why I said email, so that I can just come up like that. I reply everybody at once, and I move on to the next thing. What are the opportunities after school? So,
Uh,
what are the opportunities
okay.
after school?
Before we move to after school, let's move to school.
I went.
Oh yeah, she said you're
My
shining.
friend is here. Yeah.
So, okay, so we've talked about the before school, applying for admission. I believe that's clear. If it's not clear, I'm open for
Yeah.
questions. Authorization to stay, application for visa, you apply through the Belgium embassy, but that's a whole process that you can reach out to either me or anyone on LinkedIn that's here already because there is no information. So I think I'll be happy to provide some. In school, just get ready. The system is very hard. They're not, like I said, they're not like the UK or the US where education is chill. Here they go full, and it's almost like you're in your bachelor's but worse. Like imagine a master student doing 10 courses a semester. Is a lot. So prepare your mind that you're coming here to work hard. If you're coming to hustle, like many people used to do, for their masters, I just want you that at least for the first year, just kind of put it aside a bit. When you first come, just look for survival and try to, do very well so that maybe you can get an internship, or you can, I don't know, secure like some kind of trust for yourself so that when you finish, you can easily get a job. So it's like a temporary sacrifice, for a greater good. Because if you don't perform well, they
Yeah.
can withdraw your admission. So opportunities after school, you can get a job here. Unfortunately, they are not as generous as the UK. That give you 2 years to find a job. They give you, I think, 9 months to 1 year. I'm not. I can't really remember, to find a job. If you are in IT and finance, you are really lucky. But if you're not, it's still okay. Just be patient and be persistent. Keep applying, and keep applying, and you get a job. So there are opportunities here. And then the good part about here, I think when you stay 5 years, including your school years, you can get their passport. So I think it's worth
Yeah.
it in the long run.
I think this, and Luxembourg has one of the
Yeah.
strongest passports in the world. So you stay, whether you are coming through work, you're coming through studies, as long as you've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you do the language lessons if you want. You're right, because for you to get the passport, you must speak Luxembourg, not French. Once you pass the A2 language exam, you have the passport. And the advantage is that once you have the passport, you can travel anywhere in the world confidently. With the passport, you're very confident. But that notwithstanding, you can still tour anywhere within Europe, the Schengen country, without the passport, as long as you're a legal resident here in Luxembourg. Either you're studying, you're working, as long as you're a legal resident, you have the
The
opportunity
travel.
to tour around.
Ozzy,
Yeah.
for the time it takes them to get back to you, I cannot say. It depends on the department. My friend applied, and the next day they rejected him. I felt like, wow, they just collected this boy 50 euro for nothing. But there are some people that waited 2 months and got admission. Some people also waited 3 months and they didn't get. So I do not know, but I feel like the longer it stays, it might be a good sign. I don't know. At least they've not bounced you. Maybe you're among the ones that they are seriously considering. So I'll just say, I don't know, I'm a Christian. Just top up your prayers and just trust God. And please apply to other places. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Just keep applying to other
Very
places.
important.
Sorry. How does one get sponsored visa job? No, it's not difficult applying. The thing is, most people here, like 7% of the workforce here, are expats from different countries. So visa sponsorship is not a problem in Luxembourg. It's what they do on a daily. So don't worry about that. Maybe from a country like ours, they might not easily look at us in terms of application. But I know people who came here from Nigeria for jobs.
Not coming from Luxembourg. I know someone who came from Nigeria to
Yes,
work
Amazon is
with
a very
Amazon.
good employer.
So you see, Amazon, Deloitte, The only thing that they require is experience. You cannot be zero experienced and you're looking for visa sponsorship jobs. Once you have that experience in that field or of your career that you want to, you want to excel, you want to go further, and you apply for jobs here within that field. Of course, if you have that experience and they find you worthy, they would take you and even give you visa to come here. So it's not like it's not possible. It's just that Luxembourg, I will tell you the honest truth, Luxembourg is an uptight country. Luxembourg is not as the UK or which other country, or maybe Canada, that you can just apply for PR like that. You just get UK. You want to migrate. You want to Japan. Let me use that word Japan. You want to Japan to carry all your family. You now apply for studies and Japan. Luxembourg is not like that. If you're coming to study in Luxembourg, it is you and you alone. And if you want to bring your family, you have to finish your studies and then get a job before you can now apply for a family reunion for your family to join you in Luxembourg. And then, if you want to move with your family immediately, you have to get a job. And when you get a job, you cannot come with your family, even your dog, everything that you have. Bring all of them. So it's not that easy. So they just have to find you worthy. Whether you're coming for studies, the school you're applying to just have to find you, okay, we find her worthy. She motivated us to offer her this admission. And then you're coming to work, the work you're coming to should find you, okay, you have the experience that we need, and you can come over here. So Luxembourg you just have to put in more effort.
As someone who has lived in Nigeria and here, I would say that here they pay you for your skills. So if you, not everyone can come here as a student. If you can even come here as someone who's working, it's better. So what I would say is maybe go to LinkedIn, filter the jobs in Luxembourg, look for the skills that are mostly in demand here. See if you can educate yourself. It might take years, it might take 1 or 2 years. And you might not even end up in Luxembourg. So my brother is a developer, right? So he does front, is it back end? He's a stack developer, and then he used to work for a Nigerian company. And then one day he was like, man, it's better he start applying for all these foreign jobs. So he started applying for remote jobs, and then he's earning in dollars and he's living in Nigeria. So it's like you're earning this much and you're spending this much. And then now he got a job. He has worked for US companies, for Polish companies. Sometimes he even tries to work for 2 companies at the same time. My point is, one day his friend that is an architect said that I'm good at what I do. If you can be working for foreign companies, I can do that too. And it's not very common for architects to get a remote job, but this guy did it, and now he's working for these guys. Are in bastard money. So now those kind of people, it will not be hard for them to migrate, because they didn't just have skills, but they also got exposure from the comfort of their homes. They've worked with this company, they've worked with that company. So it's good. So it's not always as student that you can jackpot. You as yourself, if opportunity is not coming to you, you go to opportunities. You look for new skills that people need, not just in Luxembourg, all over the world. You make yourself the best at it. It takes time. Is a really huge investment, but it will pay off.
Yeah, I know this thing that you said now. The time I interviewed the guy from Lunex University, he said the same thing. He said that Luxembourg is more or less, I would call it a finance country. All the finance jobs that you need, whether account. In fact, every job needs either accountants, a back end, this and that, front officer, this, that, everything in finance. Every job in finance that And he said that, okay, right now, what is really more in Luxembourg is
KYC.
KYC, know your customer. So if you can just, equip yourself very well in that area, know about this and try to do 1 or 2 jobs and see, I want to say something. You might want to come to Luxembourg and you have the opportunity to apply to countries like UK, either through work or studies, whichever route you feel you want to migrate with, and then you get admission offers or you get a job in those countries. There, it is a means to an end. The most important thing is for you to live where you are and get to somewhere that will take you to your destination. So what am I saying? Like she said, do not put all your eggs in one basket. We have answered very many questions about studying in the university, and we want to diversify right now. So do not put all your eggs in one basket. If you have dreams of migrating to Luxembourg, living in Luxembourg, earning here, working here, whatever, and you apply to University of Luxembourg and you were rejected, okay,
Yeah.
do not lose hope. Do not lose hope. As long as me, I'm a go-getter, I don't know about you. As long as it is in your mind, you've told yourself, you see this country, I must come to this country. What do? You look for other means to start your migration process. I know someone who studied in Ghana. He left Nigeria to study in Ghana. From Ghana, he went to Ukraine. You see his journey. From Ukraine, he's in Germany, and he wants to end up in Luxembourg. And you see, Germany and Luxembourg, they are not even far. With international, you don't even, people live in Germany and work in Luxembourg. So that is how close the country is. So if he wants to, end up in Luxembourg now, the only thing he needs to do is to get a job in Luxembourg, get an address, and that is just it. So do not lose hope. I watched your video with Ola, but I can't. Oh, I was denied Unilux twice. I'm trying out France right now. That is it. That is it. And once you're in France, Priscilla, you know now. How have you been enjoying Luxembourg? Once you're in France, it's just like you just want to throw a stone and you find yourself in Luxembourg. So recently now, or in fact over the years, Luxembourg has, the job market in Luxembourg is so big that even people outside Luxembourg work in Luxembourg. I've attended a job fair here in Luxembourg before, and I saw very many people from Belgium, France, Germany coming here in Luxembourg to look for a job. And I want to also tell you that, do you know that people who work in Luxembourg just live across the border because, housing in Luxembourg is expensive compared to, I think France has even one of the cheapest housing, so a lot of people who live in France, their housing in France is so cheap. So housing in Luxembourg is expensive. And people live across the border to work here in Luxembourg because of what? Luxembourg, when you get a job in Luxembourg, Luxembourg pays you very well. You earn more when you work in Luxembourg than when you work in France, Belgium, or Germany. You earn more. And there is a good thing about Luxembourg. You know that the country is already rich, no doubt. So when things are going up during this period of hike in prices and all of that, things, salaries were increased. Even the government paid out to some families to support them. That's low income families, and it's just like that. So I've said it before, it's fun and it's also adventurous when you live in Luxembourg. So Priscilla, I want to ask you, I asked you before I got talking, ever since you moved to Luxembourg, how have you enjoyed the country? Have you been able to visit other cities or countries around? And what's the experience so far as a Black
Okay,
studying
so
in
thank you,
Luxembourg?
Moxie. I guess this would be like the social part of the gist. So let
Yes.
me just mention some few things. When you come here, you're going to experience cultural shock. This place is very different from Nigeria. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody really, no, people are not nice here per se, at least on face. Like, no, you can even say hello to some people and they're like, they're like,
And
what is
how
wrong
you?
with you? This place,
They're not.
this place is very boring. You need a community here. You need people, close to you because it's very boring. What else? This place is also very expensive, but as Moxie said, you get paid, but you get to spend. You pay bills at the same time. You're paid good, but you also spend good. The transportation here is free. That's one thing that's subsidized for people. Is awesome. You just hop in and hop out. Uh, then students get subsidized rates for rent. So if you're in the student accommodation, you don't pay as much as you would pay outside. So outside you pay like a shared accommodation where you have your room, but you share the space with other people. It's sometimes 800, 900 for a room a month. But in the student accommodation, you can get as low as 350 a month. What else? It's very boring, but people travel a lot. I think I've been to more than, let's just say, about 15 other countries since I got here. And sometimes you just for the weekend, you go for the weekend and you come back. We have airlines that are really cheap. You can get to and fro flights for as little as 50 euro. Go come. You travel, you get to explore the entire Schengen part of Europe without a visa. You also meet people from different cultures. We also have something they call Erasmus here, where you can do like exchange, where you can go to another country and leave, or they have like short programs. I used to follow them like for a week. I've gone to Portugal for a program, Italy for a program, I wanted to say Lufthansa, no, Lithuania. There are so many perks of being here, but I think the best part of it is the exposure to different cultures, to different people, both in the negative light and in the positive light. Racism, you do not experience it, at least not obviously here or even at all, because like I said, most people here are expats. They are from different parts of the world. So it's either they are minding their own business. It's not like they're trying to be racist to you. No, they're just probably just minding their own business, or shit just happens. But it's really hard to hear for you to hear someone saying that they experience firsthand racism. It's not even tolerated here at all. So you're kind of in a safe space, and Luxembourg too is very safe. The other day they posted in the news that people stole trees. I think they're looking for people who took like three chopped trees. Those are the kind of crimes that you find here. There's one that also made the news. They said someone carried a knife. Like, this place is very safe. So you are in a safe space. It's also a very lonely space as well. That's why you need your community. Before you get here, start reaching out to people, make friends, attend the little gatherings that, people have. If you're a Christian, find a church to be part of. It's somewhere where you need people, because it's a really, really lonely place. Moxie might not relate because she came here with husband and children. Us that came on our own, we have seen Shege, but thank God things are getting things are getting better. I came in the heat of the pandemic. That's why it was really bad.
Yeah, but now that the pandemic is gone, you are mixing up with other people.
I go out a lot, go out for drinks. Sometimes go to the club. They are playing Oibo music, but he will try to dance. And no judgment here, free space. It's just no one is paying attention, both in the good and the bad. So Nigeria, all your neighbors and your business, and you're complaining, but here it gets super lonely because no one is in your business at the same time. But like I said, that Luxembourg produces wine. Many people don't know this. Luxembourg produces wine, and they have also wine testing. Like, you can pay as low as 25 euros to test all the wine. Nigerians, we don't
the
really
other time
drink.
I was at I know we don't drink, but I was like, their car, like, I want to make a video like that. I said, no. So, but there are so many things. It's just that the culture might be different from our culture, the kind of things that we're used to. But the truth is, when you migrate, I remember when I was just coming to Luxembourg, and I was telling my husband, do they have a VC there? Do they have obono? What should I bring? And he's like, you're just interested in the food. And there are so many people, Nigerians, who have not even visited Nigerians for a very long time, and they've been here, they've been surviving.
You
just come,
have a video of this
just
African
come.
store. Now we have almost everything food, but you have to make it by yourself.
Yeah, we have African stores. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is, don't worry about the culture or the kind of food or the lifestyle. The truth is, you see that loneliness, you will get used to it. Do not worry, you'll get used to it. It's only you by yourself that will decide if you want to go out to to meet people in the streets. Like during summer, you can just go to parks. Who knows? You can find a friend in the park. Or when I came, I didn't have friends. Even up to now, I don't even have. But my husband was like, "Don't worry. When you have children, they go to school. You can meet with other moms, and you can go out for a coffee. You can do this." But the thing is, when the time comes, you might not be interested in. You just want to, because you've gotten used to that. Stay on your own, do your thing, your time and all of that. You might not want to be loose to meet up with people so easily. So that is how it is. And there's someone who asked if you need
Oh yeah, I wanted
German,
to
French
say
to really,
language.
really
I
move
think
to
that I
Luxembourg.
don't know
Yes.
any language. I don't even know my Yoruba language. I only know English in this my life. And I've been getting by. French, you just pick up a bit of comment ça va, just the greetings. And most people understand at least a bit of English here. You do with it.
Yes.
The important thing is that your program at the university should be an English program. As for the rest,
Yeah.
you'll be
So yeah. So look at what I want to say before I end this video, because it's almost 1 hour. So look at what I want to say. If you want to migrate to Luxembourg, what you do is, if you're coming through studies, you just have to be sure that the course you're applying is in English, basically, unless otherwise. What do I mean by otherwise? Unless you speak any of the international languages that are spoken in Luxembourg. So, but if you don't, you should just stick to your English courses that you know that you can, you learn, you understand, you write, you read everything correctly. And if you're coming for a visa sponsorship jobs, you should apply to jobs in English. Of course, if the jobs are not in English, they are not even taking you. So English jobs like that, the work
mostly.
environment is also in English. The system you're working with is also in English. Everything that you're doing is also in English. So you actually do not really need to learn German and French before migrating. But if you still go out of your way to learn
Awesome.
any of these languages, yeah, it's good. I will not ask you not to learn. Besides, I even learned French after I finished school. I never knew in my life that I'll be coming to Luxembourg. But I learned French. I did a year program in French after I studied. Sometimes you just, take up courses, not because you already planned on how to, but you don't know where life will throw you. So after I finished my first degree, I studied French, I did a 1 year diploma in French. And then after that, I went for my youth service, and then I did my master's. And I never knew, even when you can imagine the gap, how many years it took me to get to Luxembourg. Even when I came to Luxembourg and they speak French, I still enrolled in French studies, because Nigeria now, you just learn French. There is nobody you are speaking the language with. So it was over 8 years I learned the language, and by the time I came to Luxembourg, I can still speak, but I need to engage my brain. Okay, I need to speak with someone. I need to. So what did I do? I went back to school and I learned the language. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm not even perfect in the language. I still do my cut and join, and we know send. So Priscilla, I hope you had time with me here. I hope you
Yeah,
had
sure.
fun doing this.
Sure.
Yeah. So I did it as well. So if you're just joining us, very soon, in a few minutes, I'll be going to pick up my kids, and I will be continuing this live. And I know that Priscilla would also want to, look out for other things she would, engage in. Can you apply through school and work at the same time, or
No,
would it
no, no. I
affect
think
your
it's
chances?
it's school is a different institution. Work is different company. I'm gonna go for everything. Everything you
Yeah.
can.
Any
It does not
that
affect. You can even apply to
yeah,
different
like
universities. At the end of the day, you pick the one you want
yeah.
to go.
That is it. You pick the one. That is if
Yeah.
you have so many offers, but you don't, and So that is basically just that. It
Thank you,
was
Moxie,
nice having you on
for
my
the
live.
invite.
That joined us. It was really, really interesting and educating, quite educating as well. I really planned this to be fun, and to be honest, I enjoyed this. So I know you enjoyed it too. So I'll be leaving this live session here. I'm not going to delete it for people who might want to come back to watch it. And I will also put it on my YouTube channel. I'll put it on my YouTube channel on Friday. It will be going up on my YouTube on Friday so that my YouTube subscribers can watch this video and pick one or two things from this video. And then until next time, guys, I have to draw the curtain here. And I'll see you guys in my next live session. In case you want me to bring up any other person, just tell me. At least I have Priscilla of Luxembourg. I have Ola in Lunex University. I mean, we can put heads together and do, one or two things, but that will be for the future. And what's your guess? Handle is on the screen. People should not have bombard her with questions. So, because after the live session with Ola said that my followers want to pursue him from Instagram. So people should not keep my Priscilla for me. So guys,
feel free to message me. I would answer your questions to the best of my ability. Obviously, this is not my main account, okay. But depends on how we flow, we can move. But anyways, thanks thanks Moxie for everything. Thank you for hosting this. This is really nice and very helpful to a lot of people, I believe. I wish I had something like this before I came here, but it's okay. More grace upon you. God bless you. God bless everyone who applied. May you get the admission and everything that you need to come here. So I hope to see some of you here very soon. All the best. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Ciao.